ABS. And so, it's a ball and strike system where they can go quickly to technology and see if the umpire got it right. So the first thing is, you're not picking on umpires. They get over half right, and even when they miss, it's close. But the unintended benefit of this is that it's become like a game show with a reveal and a live studio audience. What's behind door number 3 on ABS? Survey says. So the fans are playing along. It also illustrates how great batters are, because to hit a 96-mile-an-hour splitter is one thing, but these batters they know millimeters around the plate. And again, the umpires get about half right and about half wrong. Now, one umpire, C.B. Buckner, did not have a good weekend. But here's an example of how it's playing out. It's the unintended benefit. There's often unintended consequences of new legislation or new business. Here's the unintended benefit. Listen to the crowd during a Reds game. The batter is Suarez. Listen to the crowd play along and watch how fast the reveal is.
Got him looking, challenge, immediate tap of the helmet. The Reds runners all hold.
Batter's challenging the pitch.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. That's out of the zone. The AB continues. Now the 2-2. Called strike 3. Tap the helmet again. He says it's off the plate away.
Batter's challenging the pitch.
Here we go.
And we didn't have to do editing there. So, listen, baseball's always been strategic, but it was more like chess. It was plotting. Now it's like speed chess. And I've said this for years. I know if you're retired and you've got nothing to do all day, you don't mind a 3.5-hour game. Strategy and drama are better efficiently.
Yep. This has been such an interesting thing for me to witness. I'm making another baseball video because you guys keep telling me to do more baseball videos. So, I don't keep doing baseball videos. Listen, I could talk about baseball all day. So, let's talk baseball. But I mean, this has been so interesting cause my dad is a massive baseball fan. He knows everything about everything. It can actually be honestly kind of hard to watch baseball games with him because he can just go on and on and on about 1964 and you know that in 1972 and it's just like I'm just trying to watch this game right now. But I used to always say to him like there's a problem with baseball. Like I played baseball at a really competitive level, played semi-pro, was a pitcher, outfield, you know, and that was such a huge part of my life and yet I didn't care to watch baseball. And I said to him, I was like, there is a problem. There is a problem when someone like me is not watching a lot of baseball. That I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I rather watch football and basketball over a baseball game. But ever since they implemented a banning of the shift as well as the pitch clock, I loved it so much more. Games are so much more enjoyable to watch, but there's still not enough action because when you're a great batter, right? It's all about offense. Offense is the action or just at the very minimum having the ball put in play. You need the drama. You need action. You need action. The problem is these pitchers so rarely throw pitches to batters that can actually hit that becomes really right now to me what the biggest problem in baseball. The biggest problem in baseball that and the fact that you can just hit a batter and it doesn't matter that if you hit I just came up with a new rule the other day. If you hit a batter you should automatically get 2 bases. It should not be the same as walking someone. Literally physically hit someone with a 98 miles per hour fastball in the elbow. You just get first. Get out of here. You get 2 bases. Force pitchers to feel uncomfortable throwing those types of pitches. Make the pitchers more uncomfortable and have to throw more strikes because right now they can throw around batters way too much. And it's just too hard for the batters to reliably hit the ball and play. It's just too hard. And so when they can solve that riddle of getting the guys to be able to just get the ball and play more, not more home runs, not more doubles, just in play, so there's more action in the base. And that's why they took away the shift and whatnot, but there's still another layer to that. That solves baseball even more. But that brings me to ABS. It's another thing for you to focus on. It's another variable. The problem with baseball, and I talked about this, I guess a couple videos ago, not many videos because this is only like my 4th baseball video I've done on here, is the fact that batters go cold. Offense goes cold. It's not out of the ordinary to have an elite batter. The guy who's leading the Major League Baseball in RBIs and home runs and doubles and triples and singles, the greatest batter in the world for the last 5 years, can still go 0 for 4 in a game. And that's like not abnormal at all. It's like, yeah, he went 0 for 4. Yeah, he struck out twice and popped up once and had a little weak ground ball, and that's totally par for the course. Whereas in football, it's not normal to see Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts or whoever just be terrible. Just miss their receivers again and again and again. If there is, you're like, there's something wrong. What is wrong? And yeah, in basketball you can have shooters go a little cold, but like even if Steph is cold or whoever's cold, they're still putting up at least 20 points, right? Like especially I'm talking about like the truly greats. Like they're at least doing something productive. There's something positive. They at least knock down at least one shot, right? Like they're getting something, and baseball doesn't have that. So you need extra something. And so I'm casually watching this ABS and listen, I pitched. I used to umpire as well for basketball, football, baseball. So, I'm looking at it from both sides, and this is where I'll disagree with Colin, but I'll bring that up in a second, is that watching this, it's definitely really fun, especially because you have it when this is what basketball should do, but basketball takes forever for the reviews. Ever. And football, quite frankly, but football at least there's still more drama to it, is the fact that you can keep challenging essentially until you get it wrong, right? You get 2 wrongs and then you're done. But essentially, if you keep challenging and get it correctly, you keep that challenge. But if you get it wrong, you don't. And it's so interesting because I've been talking about this with my dad, and like it's interesting that because the coaches are going to have full say in this. They're given free range to even like the bottom of the lineup. Like I'm watching players who should not have any power to appeal, and they are. And I'm surprised. I was honestly really surprised by that, because I would have bet that coaches are like, buddy, this is like your 3rd MLB baseball game in your entire career. You don't have any challenges. You're not challenging right now. We're saving it for Bryce Harper or Kyle Schwarber, whatever. And that's not the way it's been going. So, it's I do find that really fascinating that it's seemingly everyone kind of has free range to call. To be clear, everyone always has free range, but there's going to be coaches that are going to be like, I don't want you wasting. There's going to be some coaches that maybe say, you're not wasting any. We're not doing any ings until 6, 7, 8, 9, or we're saving our challenges for our pitchers. Or, I don't know. It's fascinating because you only get 2 total. And you can challenge as a pitcher and you can challenge as a batter. And it's just like it's clearly incredibly valuable. And it makes it exciting because I was watching a game yesterday and I see someone challenge the call, and they clearly should not have challenged the call, and they still had 2 correct, they still had 2 chances and they got it wrong, and then there was another one that they clearly in the same at bat they clearly should have challenged but they didn't, and you're like, you did it wrong, and so it's still something to like get frustrated about. It's something to give you some sort of emotional response. And then also when you're watching it, this is now through the pit through a pitching lens. I see a strike, or I see a pitch that's called a strike that was like probably maybe a ball. Like I'm thinking it's a ball. And I'm like, oh, don't challenge it. Don't challenge it. Don't challenge it. Okay, good. He didn't challenge it. And then there's another time that I see it's a strike and I'm like, oh, that definitely paid to the corner. That's definitely a strike. And now I see the guy challenge it and I go, oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. Nope. That is a strike. That is a strike. And then you see it and it's B. Why like a millimeter and you go, that's right. See, told you that's a strike. That's a strike. Sit down. Like it's just something else to yell at the TV. It's something else to get all energized. And you see the fans. It is exciting. It is energizing. And that is what you need. It's not a matter of speed chess. It's just chess where like every time you actually get a move, you get to like smack the person in the face or something. Like you need some action, you need energy, you need something. You need something. Which is why again the next thing the baseball needs to solve is getting more hits. They need more action. Not more home runs, not more doubles even or triples. They just need the ball in play. I misspoke when I said more hits. More hits is better, too. But they just need the ball in play. In play more difficult plays for the fielders to even make enough of all it's a routine fly ball, routine ground ball. You need action, action, action. And it starts with pitchers having to pitch to batters. I think walking should have more of a consequence. Force the batters because it's too easy now for a great batter to walk up, have a man on second, and we can just throw all around him all we want. We're like, we don't even mind walking this guy. No one's on base. Doesn't matter. I'll throw all around him. Maybe the ABS helps that a little bit because, pitchers, can pitch ever so slightly outside, which sometimes maybe. More of not shouldn't say more often than not, but it's there's an increased now without ABS, there's an increased chance that actually is called a strike when it's actually a ball. So maybe that also can kind of make things a little bit harder for pitchers. But the other thing that I want to talk about is that I am seeing this and I'm seeing this in the comments section and we saw this after the World Baseball Classic. People are using it to like rip the umps and say, see, they don't know what they're doing. They're trash. They're this or that. And I try to talk about this in the World Baseball Classic that like you got these umpires calling like 300 or so pitches a game. 300 calls that they have to decide. 300, this is not basketball. This is not football. Like this is such an art and science and it's so brutally difficult. You see if you're watching these games that it's 0.12. Sometimes it's off. Sometimes it's a bad call, but that's also just part of it. And a part of me is a little nervous cause I was also talking about this with my dad that like if it goes into, full-on robo-umpiring where because they could theoretically just do this 100%. And people say, well, why don't you just do that? Then it's always 100% accurate. And there's a great argument for that. No doubt about it. But it does also take away some of the drama. This right now does increase the drama and the fact that you can challenge it allows you to see. Correct for human error while also still having the drama. Probably eventually they go full-on 100% robot because then it'll be literally perfect balls and strikes and it'll be just as fast. You don't have to review it. It will just be probably like a little earpiece or whatever and they just do it. But that does take away some of the drama. And you could say, well, it's not about the drama. We just want accuracy and it's like well it's about entertainment really and that's why rules in football are always changing like it's always about health, entertainment etc. And so that has always been baseball's biggest existential threat. It's like what can we do to make these entertaining? And when it's a 2-2 count and the umpire calls a strike or even a ball to make it a full count or strike 3 and now you have a challenge and you go, no, that was a ball. That was a ball. Like, it's just something. You need more things to be able to yell at the TV set for is really what you need to do. You need more things to get frustrated about to dance over and say, that's right. That's right. That's right. And so that is what ABS is doing right now. And since so much of baseball, especially when you're sitting at home watching it, you're calling balls and strikes to yourself and now you're watching it and you're just like, are you going to challenge it? Are you going to challenge it? It's a not her thing to have floating around in your mind. It's another thing to get mad at a player for messing up. What are you doing challenging that? That was clearly like I saw an awful challenge and I'm like, what are you doing right now? That was an awful that was clearly a ball. How delusional. You're desperate right now. It's like literally like you're on. You're desperate right now. You're desperate. That was clearly a ball. What are you doing right now? Like it adds that energy. So I love it so far. I love the pitch clock. I love the shift. You banning the shift. And this is the stuff that I used to fight with my dad because my dad's like, no, you can't ban the shift. No, there's no the best thing about baseball is that there's no clock in baseball. There should be no pitch clock. And it's just like, you need to do something. You need to do something. People always try to pretend that football is no longer as fun to watch because you can't hit the quarterback. Then it's just like, football is just as insanely as exciting to watch as it's ever been. In fact, honestly, in a modern era of 2026, it's more fun to watch now than it was in the 80s and 90s with less hits. It's actually uncomfortable to watch some of those hits because I don't want to see people get physically hurt. Okay. You know, I guess I'm not man enough. But I mean like it's way more interesting to me right now. Also knowing that they're actually protecting the players that I claim to care for and root for and cheer for. And so I do appreciate baseball constantly trying to make moves. Having the ghost runner on second in I almost said overtime in extra innings and whatnot. I think they should start to change it up a little bit even more. I think though the little like I don't know what this would really be called, but the little hit-off that they had in the All-Star game was really awesome, right? It was like a home run off. Like I like that almost kind of more than an extra inning. I almost say maybe you get like one extra inning and then a hit-off or something. Like you need the drama, you need the excitement, you need something to be a little more interesting. Pitch clock has been amazing. I still think that there could be some of the stuff that they can change with the shift. I still think maybe you can move a little bit too much. I forget what the exact rules are now in terms of like where you're allowed to go. But I still think there should be probably even more limitations on that. And I really think what I came up with a great rule. If you hit a batter, you get 2 bases. There has to be a consequence for hitting a batter. You're getting hit by like a 98. I just saw the other night someone get hit again by like a 98-mile-per-hour fastball like right above the elbow. You shatter that person's elbow. I mean like they could be down for the entire season. You have to not allow pitchers to just be able to throw as hard as they can with no control, you know. And I am not saying that I would like this next rule, but like something to encourage to make batters to make pitchers have to throw strikes. If you walk 2 batters in the same inning or something, again, the next batter you walk is 2 bases like something. These sound funny. He sounds silly. And it sounds like you're not a baseball purist, but it's just any time that you can put pressure on the players to have to perform it, it will make it better. It will make it better. Give the pitchers a smaller margin of error to work with because they're already at a massive advantage. Like, that's the reality, right? The batters already have such a low success rate. They're all in the 200s of a batting average. It's all the pitchers already have a significantly larger margin of error. If there's some way that you can bridge that gap, make it more consequential, then there's going to be more action. And again, maybe the ABS does that. Like I'm fascinated to see having a full season right now with ABS, if there's any elevation in batting average once they change the shift. I think there was an elevation in batting average and more base runners and RBIs and whatnot. Runners in scoring position. I don't know if that actually ended up averaging out, but it was when it first happened. Someone would have to tell me. I have to look that up. But I wonder if ABS has a similar type effect right now. But I just want to see more balls in play, more action trying to throw base runners out. You need more of it. And ABS helps contribute that and to the drama, to the also the practicality of the entertainment aspect of baseball. So, I've been loving it so far. I've been really enjoying it. But I do just want to emphasize one last time, it's not about proving the umpires wrong. They really do have an absolute brutal job. They're making 300 or so decisions a game. Then they don't have a little box. They're looking at it and they're watching. It's coming right at them and they're getting crazy pitches. 98 miles per hour fastball, 86 miles per hour curveball, sliders, sweepers, knuckleballs, splitters, cutters. It's just insane. And balls just fall off a table. It's insane. It's insane. There's a reason why these batters bat, 2 out of 10 times get a hit. It's insane. It's brutal. So, you're going to have a high volume of just some inaccurate calls. It's just the way it goes. It's not as clear as you smacked his arm. That's clearly a foul. It's not the way it is. You grabbed his jersey, that's clearly holding. It's not the way it is in baseball. And I just want fans to just understand that. They need to understand that. It's not about proving the umps wrong because it's just that it really is brutal. It's not that cut and dry and it's tough. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about ABS baseball? Have you been watching any of these games? Have you been interested? I'll ask again. Do you want me to continue to be making baseball videos? Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment. So, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get to some discussions. Let's get to some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next.